At sunrise on August 30th, 2025, the skies over Crimea carried a sound no one there had heard before. Ukraine had just fired its newest weapon, the Flamingo cruise missile, and in that moment, Russia's layered defenses faced something they weren't ready for. The Flamingo isn't just another missile. It's a 7-ton giant, built with a fiberglass body, packed with a 1,150-kilogram warhead, and able to fly nearly 3,000 kilometers at speeds brushing 950 kilometers per hour. That's twice the punch of a Tomahawk, but designed to skim so low to the ground that radars don't see it until it's almost too late. What makes this system a game-changer isn't only its size. For Ukraine, the Flamingo represents independence. After years of relying on Western-supplied weapons with strict limits, Kyiv finally has a missile it controls, one that can reach command centers, ports, and supply lines deep behind enemy lines. The world saw this potential on August 30th, when 3 Flamingos streaked toward Crimea in coordination with swarms of UJ-26 kamikaze drones. Russian generals thought Ukraine was playing defense. In reality, it was the perfect distraction. As drones blinded key radar stations, the missiles swept in at altitudes as low as 20 meters. At that height, radar coverage shrinks to just 20 to 25 kilometers. By the time Russian crews saw them, the missiles were already overhead. The first strike hit the FSB's border security complex in Armyansk. The building itself remained standing, but inside, the command room went silent. Lights flickered, servers died, and radio links cut off. To a military, that's worse than total destruction, because commanders waste precious minutes staring at screens that show nothing useful. Moments later, the second missile tore through a nearby communications hub, severing power lines and cable networks. Repairing damage like that doesn't take hours. It takes weeks. The third Flamingo targeted the Sevastopol naval pier. A blast ripped through fuel lines and command cabins, dislodging patrol boats and leaving at least one hovercraft heavily damaged. The harbor, once a secure staging point, was suddenly a liability. Now, critics point out that not every Flamingo has hit perfectly. One missile reportedly missed by more than 100 meters in an earlier test, and the system's bulk means it isn't invisible to advanced radar. On top of that, Ukraine's missile industry hasn't escaped scrutiny. Firepoint, the company behind the Flamingo, is under investigation for possible corruption in pricing and production claims. But even with those caveats, the strategic message is loud. Ukraine is no longer limited to borrowed firepower. With production expected to climb from 30 missiles a month to over 200 by the end of 2025, this weapon will be a constant factor in the war, and possibly beyond. The bigger picture: a single dawn strike has already forced Russia to rethink its defenses in Crimea. And if even 3 Flamingos can cause this much disruption, the question isn't whether the missile works. It's how many more are waiting to fly.